can we do this really quick then? Let's have you guys do a little bit of intro as to who you are, what your role is with the CSMTA, how you guys got involved with sport to begin with. And while these guys are doing that, for you guys in the chat, I want you to throw in your location into the chat and then just give us an idea if you are already working with athletes, if you're already working with teams, or if this is something that you're just kind of interested in and you want some more information. So if you guys can throw that info into the chat while these guys give us some information about themselves.
So I guess I'll start. With my role with the CSMTA, I'm the examination chair as well as the instructor coordinator for our 2-day and 1-day sport massage course. In terms of how I started when I got interested in massage therapy. I like sports, and I always liked working with my hands, so I got into massage after a back injury. And then I went automatically into the CSMTA after school. And actually during school, that's where I met Ed. Ed was one of the guest speakers at the massage school, and very influential at that time, still is. And then from there, I went through my sport designation requirements. I did the examination, became a sport fellow back in 2000, and then through applying, I was able to go to major games, and that's where I was found. I guess where people found me, especially with Athletics Canada, and then I became part of the IST Integrated Support Team member for Athletics Canada, which rolled me into helped me get a position at the Canadian Sport Institute Ontario, and where I was able then to go into working with Swimming Canada and Cycling Canada, where fast forward today, I still work with those three teams. I go to major games. I go such as the Olympics, Paralympics, World Championships. And presently now I am the IST lead for the High Performance Center in Ontario for Swimming Canada, as well as the therapy lead for Swimming Canada. So that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
That's a big hat, Remo.
Sorry. Jessica, you're next.
Oof. So I'm in New Brunswick. So my resume is a whole lot smaller than what Remo just went through. So became a therapist in 2005 and became a member of the CSMTA in 2000 and I want to say 7 or 8. And from there went to conferences, and that's where I met Remo. Funny enough, talked to Ed a lot on emails and phone calls, but just met him in person for the first time last year. Through that, wanted to be involved in the association as much as I wanted to be involved in sports. And oh God, I've been the president. I can't calculate how many years. I'm going to say 7 or 8 years now. And just have met some amazing people through that, and been wanting to promote massage sport through this. Now, sports experience, I guess. Whoever wanted to take me at the time, I was like, I just want to work with athletes. So started in football. We have 2 teams in the men's league here in locally. So started working with a team. And one of the players was like, I'm going to be working with a high school team. Do you want to help me out? I was like, sure, let's see what that is. So started with high school football. And then about 2 years later, somebody was like, do you want to help me out with hockey? I was like, sure, let's see what that does. And hopped on there. So since then, I was mostly oriented into hockey just because it was a sport that was easier or had more of a budget and a need for therapy. Also having a kinesiology background and all of that, it played in fairly well. So I could treat, I could help with the warm-ups, I could do everything. And as Remo said, I've transitioned to now doing skates and all that fun stuff. And lucky enough, just adding my name to a list of pools for Swim Canada. I've been traveling with Swim Canada since 2017, 2018. I've been very lucky in being selected to go to Tokyo and Paris for the Olympics, and just learning through sports and having the chance of meeting these amazing athletes and learning about sports that I don't have access to being in New Brunswick. We're very limited in the different types of sports that we have. If it's not hockey or soccer, it's not here. So I've had the chance of learning as I travel.
That's awesome. Ed,
I'm going to sound like a real old timer because I started doing the math, and next year's 40 years. So I graduated in 1986 from the infamous Sutherland Chan, and I got involved immediately into sport. I was actually one of the founders, that would have been 1987, of the CSMTA. Mm-hmm. And probably for maybe, I'm going to say the last 15 years, I've been the selections chair of the CSMTA. Right at the onset, before there wasn't this organization around, I just kind of threw myself into, I got involved with the national women's basketball team, and I worked with them from 1987 to 2000. At the same time, I was with Athletics Canada, donating time with multi-event athletes, decathletes and decathletes, and I did that for the same window. And I had to let a lot of that go. In 97, I became a consultant with the Toronto Raptors, and I was there with them for 8 years. In the early days, we got a new medical director at the University of Toronto, and Remo will be familiar with Dr. Doug Richards. He's now retired as a physician. But that was my into the University of Toronto. So we have a sport medicine clinic there. And I have been there since 1990, working with a wide range of athletes. And it is pretty much, unlike a lot of therapists out there, it is pretty much all acute injuries, including rehab with post-op things from ACLs, shoulders, all sorts of things. So it's quite a lot of variety in the day. And like the others, I've been to a couple different, some major games, some Olympics and World Championships, FUSU games, lots of experiences. But I really have to say, just working day to day, learning from others, learning from the athletes I work with, from the coaches I work with. Even just today, I was messaging a coach back and forth, and we were kind of talking about building something into his training program with his cross-country runners. So you're always being stimulated by different things that are going around you all the time. And with so many different types of sports, I sent a program along to a guy down in the States for cheerleaders. And so there's lots of different variety, lots of different injuries, and lots of different perspective, lots of different therapists out there doing lots of good things. And so it's just great being in that environment. I just find it very stimulating and very rewarding.